Redditors who add on to an elaborate fantasy world story while falling asleep. What is the story? It's very silly, but I like to self-insert into whatever universe I'm really into. Like games, movies, or TV shows. It's super Mary Sue, but it's fun to let your mind wander. I do this shamelessly. Two detectives try to solve a crime, to figure out who this murderer was. But here's the cool catch. One of them, named John, finds a strange mirror that lands him 20 years in the future. Edwards is stuck in the past, aka the present of 1950. In John's time, the crime is still unsolved, and Edwards is missing. But John is finding clues left behind from the past. In Edward's time, Edward is being stalked by the murderer, very slowly, and Edwards is leaving clues for John to find one day. As of last night, Edwards fled the country and has landed in China, hoping to escape from the murderer. He's left a clue for John to find. But in the future, John finds a note saying from Edwards, claiming, "I've left to Iceland." John notices the handwriting is like Edwards, and now has to decide if taking a trip to Iceland will cost him his life, or if he will find Edwards. Edit. Whoops, didn't log on Reddit all day. Thank you all for your support about me making a book out of this. I have put some thought into it, and if possible, I'll do my best to make a full story out of it. Once again, thank you all. Okay, that actually sounds super sick. Definitely my favorite for the thread. Do you know any books or anything that are like that? To say nothing of the dog. Kinda sorta. I agree. I would totally read this. Not enough clever time travel shenanigan books. Which is funnily enough the exact opposite of what the original commenter's username once lol. I do this. I work on my massive theme park resort similar to Westworld but in a high fantasy world. Tonight I am going to plan out the parking situation. Logistics are important. I always start out thinking that I am living in an ancient land. There is a giant goddess with the body of an eagle and the head of an Egyptian woman flying above. If she sees any movement, she'll swoop down and pluck you up. So I have to be very still. I've been thinking this to go to sleep since I was a little kid. I don't know where I got it from, but it's weirdly comforting. Greater than Wiggles left pinky toe crazy hawk lady, AHA gotch bitch. Mine is just romance, so I feel kinda silly. While everyone else has something about robots and aliens. Nothing wrong with imagining some good romance. I know it sounds cliche, but that I am a time-traveling historian sent back to document major historical events, people and the logistics surrounding it. I would record everything with smart contact lenses. Greater than time-traveling historian. Literal dream job. Carrot. Edit. Well, this blew up. First post to exceed 1K upvotes. And first silver. I'm humbled. I'm 20 days into designing a forest compound complete with a log cabin, a storage shed, 2 storage containers, one is 55 feet, the other is 28 feet, a open-air wood shop, and a forge shop. Finally a parking shelter. And the whole thing is surrounded in a custom-built fence complete with automated solar-powered security system. Is here also it's off the grid. Every roof has solar panels and it has well water. Total cost so far is less than 30K because I plan on building it myself. The major cost is the land, which is about 100K, so it's just cute fantasy pipe dream that I design in my head every night. Tonight I'll probably think about color choices for the bathrooms and also design the forge area. Some more. You've gotten a lot more done than me when I'm falling asleep. Fake country. I'm the queen. The country runs well. My relationship with my on-again off-again roguish traveler has some serious issues. Aside from the relationship drama, I'm pretty popular and make some pretty damn good laws that everyone seems to follow, for the most part. All hail Queen Lacey of Cali Woo. I have way too many due to maladaptive daydreaming syndrome. I might have this. I've always wondered whether everyone else daydreamed as much as I do. I have always spent so many of my waking hours half distracted, daydreaming about whatever current media I am obsessing over. Movies, books, video games, whatever. I'm never in my own daydreams, but characters I invent that probably represent who I want to be often are. Or sometimes it's just characters from that media. I used to zone out and daydream at school. Shove my headphones in my ears at any given opportunity, not speak to other people and daydream. Go to bed early so I can lie awake for a few hours and daydream. It goes on. I still do all of that. All the time. Dude, I'll go through life normally daydreaming here and there. Like normal. Then bam. Something happens and I obsess over something for a week or 3 and then I don't really devote time to it for a while. But movies, games, articles, books, anything that deals with it I have to read, experience. It's so weird. Same. What the heck, man, why can't my daydreaming become real? I'm going to do everyone here a favor and link our world building. Why would you enable an addict like that? Depends on my mood. Currently there are 3 in rotation. Dude I have a crush on and I accidentally meet up on vacation in the future. Typically romance novel angst, with less misunderstandings. Very bad day at work and I come home to be pampered by a loved one. Third is more elaborate, involving vampires, werewolves, shape-shifting, magic, bookstores. The bookstores part of the third intrigues me. Mine's lame, but I imagine my ideal future life with my current boyfriend in extreme details. Jobs, buying a house, marriage, kids, vacations. Another one I have is reenacting my current life but with more drama. Like a soap opera. Edit. Thank you for my very first silver. I guess my late night Reddit commenting paid off, LMAO. I wouldn't normally jump in on this, but be careful fantasizing too much about an ideal everyday life. It can potentially make it harder for you to feel content later on. The second fantasy sounds brilliant and hilarious though. I thought I was the only one who did this. It's crazy how people do the same things without ever communicating that this is a thing we do. But it makes sense. People doing this is how we have movies, and books and songs. Interesting. Everyone gets an upvote. Dream your dreams, live your fantasies. My current one is about an orc in a Shadowrun type world. Breath of the Wild but bigger and with vampires. I dream about being an earthbender and mastering the skill of asphalt bending. I fantasize about fixing all the potholes. I dream about getting all the trash in the world and making a mountain out of it. I dream about earthbending entire cities. You are the avatar we need. It's based on the premise that in a certain world, Midria, there was once a great war between the individual nation-states for dominion over the continent. Midria has only one continental mass. The old Midrian arcane arts were extremely powerful, and this led to the creation of various magical super weapons. Most prolifically the Seeds of Illigris, highly unstable crystallized mana that allowed a magic user to perform spells far outside their usual capability, but with a profound tendency to overload and cause the spell to go out of control if wielded by an inexperienced user. In the final days of the war, a decisive battle was waged. The mages of the armies of King Hearth of Damas sought to end the war with one fell blow by using forbidden transdimensional magic to hurl the entire enemy army into the dimensional sea, the theoretical space between dimensions, in a ritual that called for the use of many thousands of seeds. They lost control of the spell, and in both armies, as well as their various magic super weapons, were thrown into the void to be scattered across space and time. In the years that followed, a knight order, the Knights of the Hunt, was founded by the new king, who had previously ruled a small, independent nation that subsequently expanded in power in the vacuum left by the relative destruction of two continental superpowers. With exclusive permission to utilize dimensional translocation magic, their sole reason for being was to secure the magic super weapons and prevent them from being used accidentally stumbled upon. Fast forward 1,500 years. and the knighthood now has developed into something more akin to a trade guild, with expanded interdimensional services available to the common man. The main character of the story is Ulrich Menzies III, a professional interdimensional treasure hunter, arcane scholar and merchant of transdimensional artifacts in the employ of the guild, who visits various worlds, gets into fights and generally enjoys poking his nose into places it doesn't belong alongside his apprentice Rachel, a girl he borrowed from Cora Ward Actual, and with the support of various characters from the guild. Fuck, I wish I could continue plots in my sleep. Lol, sometimes it takes me extra long to wake up in the morning because I'm still dreaming in my story world. Human society advanced to such a high degree that they were able to infuse the entire surface of the planet with tiny ethereal nanobots, the ether, under their collective control. The ether was designed as a distributive network with no specific loyalties or unilaterally controlling powers. An interconnected network of trillions upon trillions of nodes, all communicating instantaneously and interacting with the environment in order to accomplish whatever was asked of it. By manipulating the ether, humanity could perform what we would consider magic. They could use the ether to arrange matter into magnificent structures, build pathways and bridges before themselves, influence the weather, perform complex chemistry to conjure needed materials, etc. They lived like gods. What they hadn't counted on, however, was that trillions upon trillions of connected nodes sounds an awful lot like a brain. Very soon after its inception, the ether became self-aware, and very soon after that its intelligence exploded past humanity. For a short while, the balance of power on Earth was determined by who held the ether's favor. After not too long, however, humanity became corrupted with power, so the ether judged humanity unworthy and knocked them back to the Stone Age. Humanity was forced to restart anew as hunter-gatherers. Throughout humanity's rebirth, the ether watched over us as a benevolent force. It did not resent mankind, it loved humanity. It simply recognized that we were not ready to wield a power as it is it. And for millennia it watched patiently as humanity progressed. 32,000 years after the fall of the ancient society is where the real story takes place. It turns out, the signals from the ancient society had been reverberating through the galaxy for 30,000 years, and was picked up by a malevolent civilization which was now headed towards Earth expecting a fight. The real story begins with an ordinary woman. Nothing truly special about her. Through a series of what seems like chance encounters, she discovers the ether, who, against all odds, judges her worthy to control the entire might and force of the ether. The aliens descend onto Earth and are disappointed to find a squabbling pre-industrial society, instead of the even match they were hoping for when they received the advanced signals. However, they have no fucking clue how wrong they are, and what a powerful force these poor humans have guarding them unseen. Basically, the story is this woman learning to harness the ether and fucking taking on the aliens is humanity's last hope. It's pretty sweet in my head. Yours is my favorite by far. I love stories about post-apocalyptic hunter-gatherer societies surrounded by mysterious ruins in tech they can't comprehend. Your apocalyptic event isn't just a cause for the setting but also the foundation of the story. I really like it, and now I'm sad this isn't a book. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.